poker face, wasn't it? Goodness me. Well done. Good choice. So back on the track, it's the men's flat 400 metres, and that was the stunning performance from Carsten Wahlholm over hurdles last week of 46.7. There's plenty of men on the flat running at international level, if you like. Certainly some of the junior or under 23s would have been pleased with that, but here we see some of the fastest men in the world over the flat. Dion Lendore of Trinidad and Tobago on the outside, Wilbert London in lane 7. The American trials, of course, just a little bit of a surprise in the sense that Michael Cherry chased Michael Norman home and Randolph Ross was in there. Isaac McQuarrie doesn't have to worry about that. But he was talking this week about his Tokyo preparations, the veteran Botswanan athlete, saying that I know that some of people think I should concentrate on the Olympics. I get a few injuries, I know that, but that's a risk I have to take because I have to earn a living. He's quite strong in his condemnation of those who think he should race less. But he's in good form, McQuarrie. And Karani James, well, we're not quite sure, because Karani started the season very well indeed, but hasn't raced since Doha. So it'll be interesting to see. That's well over a month. And then Vernon Norwood didn't make the American team, ran the 200 in Oslo the other night. Now, the Dutch have put together a pretty good squad, haven't they, as far as 4x4 concerned as well, but it's led by this man, Liemarvin Bonevacia, and won their championships in 44.99. Ogando improving the Dominican Republic, talking about the 4x4. They picked up a medal at the World Relays, rather surprisingly, and Emil Johansson of Sweden, the 19-year-old, on the inside. So the race here, two very familiar names, Karani James, Isaac McQuarrie. McQuarrie certainly has been rounding into some very good form this year. Karani James started with a bang, 44.74 and 44.6. His two races that we've seen him in Europe. Well, Doha, I guess, as part of the Diamond League. But then, nothing for the last 5 weeks from Karani James. So McQuarrie's in 6, James in 5, the two Americans, Norwood in 4, London in 7. But watch out as well, Ogando and Bonevacia in lanes 2 and 3. Men's 400 metres. Away first time, Karani James gets out pretty well already, a little bit up on Isaac McQuarrie. And that's perhaps a little bit of a surprise. McQuarrie started slowly there, London moving well out in lane 7, as is Lendore out in lane 8. But it's Karani James who's set his stall out through this first 200 metres and has taken a fair bit of distance out of Norwood and indeed McQuarrie. McQuarrie, though, really got to try and get himself moving here. So Karani James now knows that McQuarrie's starting to fight back, and we've got a real scrap on here into the home straight. Lendore going well out in lane 8 as well, closest to the crowd. He's maybe just got a half a metre on the others as Karani James starts to tire, and right over on the far side it's Bonevacia trying to get through, but he's got to hang on just Karani James. 44.63. Well, all 5 men there must be under 45 seconds, and James looked as though he was going to falter in the last 50 when the challenges were coming all around him, and then managed just to strengthen it out. And that's interesting for me, Tim, because he's been missing for 4 or 5 weeks. We know he had all the problems with Graves' disease for a couple of years. He said he's got that under control now. Good to see him come back and win, and winning well.
Well, what a brilliant run from Karani James. I thought he'd misjudged it, I must admit. I thought he'd gone out far too hard that first 200, but that was the feature of his running when he won the Olympic title back in 2012 and the world title in 2011. He used to go out very hard and hang on so well. There's that finish, by the way, of the women's 400-metre hurdles. Boll winning by the tiniest of margins from Shamir Little. Karani James, 44.63. Blanket finish there from the first 5. Wonderful, wonderful contest. They were all coming back at him, but he hung on, didn't tie up.